Hi everyone. Hold fire. Hi everyone. Hey Sally, I'm gonna get you on. My light just fell over. Oh my god, I've had one of those afternoons. I can't tell you. I cannot tell you. Right, come on Sally. Here we go. Getting stuff done in heels, and I've just invited her. So thank you everyone who's joining us. And my phone has just gone wonky. Come on. Oh. Hey Sally.
Hello.
Oh,
it works.
Thank you so much for joining me. The laugh of the gods have been against me today with my live. I cannot tell you, it has been one of those days. The OpenReach, you know, BT have engineers called OpenReach. There's been a fault on our line at the shop, and you can't hear when you phone. It sounds like someone's dancing on the telephone rails. And he's been here since 1 o'clock this afternoon. He's been up every post all up and down the high street. He just came in the shop. If I had a picture to show you, red as a lobster. Can you imagine in this heat being stuck up a telegraph pole? But he's found the fault, so it's solved. But I told him, you have to be done by 5 o'clock because I've got a live. And anyway.
Panic stations.
And also my phone is going wonky on the stand. Like, I can't get it to go straight. Hold on, Sally. Sorry, I'm so professional.
Don't worry, I'll hold the fort. It's fine. I will hold the fort. Don't worry, everyone. It's all under control. Carry on. No one's noticed.
I'm so bloody unprofessional. It's untrue. And you know, I'm just going to hold.
Which is why we love you.
Oh, I love you, Sally. I think everybody loves you. And I'm so happy that you've come on to chat to little old me, because you're just a trailblazer on Instagram. You really are. No, you are so natural and lovely, and I think humble, and everything you do fills me with joy, and I think probably fills everybody else with joy. So you know, there's so much crap on Instagram and accounts that I could think, quite frankly, life is better off if you just unfollow them. And yours,
press the mute button, unfollow. It's much better for the noggin.
yeah, and that is so important. I mean, I know we all go on about mental health and how you feel, but I definitely think I spend most of my life on here, as you must do too.
Yeah,
and
it's your job. Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, when you get those days when you do feel a bit, oh, I feel shit today and I don't really know why, and I've looked at something and that hasn't made me feel great. And I tell you what, it's often the gram, isn't it?
Yeah, it's easily done. You get you know, the thief of all joy, isn't it? Comparison.
Yeah.
Is that the right saying? Anyway, it does. It sort of can inspire you and make you feel amazing. But also, if you're having a little bit of a wobble, it can make you go, "That's it. I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I'm rubbish." The end. Let's go and eat cake.
But I think it's really important. I'm just glad that we've even talked about that, because that's one of my little rules in my head whenever I post things, because I'm very aware that I'm posting expensive jewelry, you know, luxury items.
Beautiful jewelry.
And they might not, everyone might not, you know, some days people think, God, I'm never going to be able to buy anything like that. But I just want to share my knowledge and just show the things that I'm lucky enough to be in that business of. And you know, and even if people can't buy that, you know, sometimes I have cheaper things, but I think it's just inspiring people, isn't it? And hopefully making people feel good and smile, which you do.
There's a way to do it. If you were going, here are all my jewels, these are all mine, and I can afford every, you know, that's very different. What you're doing is inspiring someone. You're not going, you look at me, I'm Mrs. Moneybags with all this, you know, you get, this is my business, this is my shop, these are the beautiful things I've got. And actually, you can learn an awful lot from following, whether it's somebody with a massive big house or somebody with 25 dogs and you want 25 dogs, or beautiful jewels, whatever it is. You can be inspired by that rather than feel on the back foot, as long as it's presented to you, like you said, in a humble way. And we'll get to this later, but it's just reminded me now. I wrote a list of the 10 most important points on Instagram, of which number 11 is the most important point, and it's don't be a knob.
Yeah. Well, I completely, I'm going to see if I can put you in my phone stand, Sally. Sally getting stuff done in heels. I'm putting you in my phone stand, and it's working now. Woohoo!
Yeah.
But oh, Sally, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't want to sidetrack to me talking about the jewellery, because I've got a whole stack.
Not at all. No, I love it.
Oh, I know. Well, I've got so much to ask you, because I follow you and I see your lovely account and the content. I have to say, mate, the content that you produce. Now, those reels, I don't see anyone doing those reels. I mean, no wonder Waitrose and DFS. I mean, you clever clogs. You're just
honestly, sometimes if you could actually be inside my brain and the last minute nature of some of it, there's a meme and I really want to do it as like as a reel, and it's like, come on brain, think of things, come on brain, think of things. And sometimes I go into filming a campaign and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing, and then it sort of evolves quite quickly. And usually, yeah, and that's what, when a brand asks me to do something, most of them, I mean nearly all of them actually, give me so much creative content because they know what I'm like. And then I'll go, we'll have a chat about it, especially like Waitrose and stuff. We'll have like a content planning meeting, and I'll be going blah 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 like I do, and she's going with all the ideas. Like literally, okay, shut her up now, switch her off. But then when I come to actually do it, it definitely evolves. And I, because you know, on here you're a creative, aren't you? And you want to like do your best thing. And I always love a little bit of magic, a little bit of humour.
That's so
and
me.
Obviously the brief. I love humour. If I can make it funny or do something funny at the end, you know, that people weren't expecting, I've won then, because I'm like, yeah, well, okay, that's exciting. I'd like
that
to
is I think that's how you charm people, Sally. I mean, the Waitrose advert that you did, you know, where you were chopping up the green beans. I mean, again, so clever. Sorry, I'm really sweating. I don't know why today.
Oh, God, so am I. So
I could do with
the
a fan on my head. And at the end, when you put the chef's hat on, I mean, it was just so good. Honestly.
That was an accident. So the Waitrose one with the green beans, they wanted it without any music audio because they wanted to repurpose it on their channels. So I couldn't even use royalty free, which then makes it quite an effort. Like, how am I going to make this watchable and fun? Because people don't always like a long voiceover. I
agree with that, yeah.
So it was like, oh, what am I going to do to actually engage people and hook them in? Recipes.
Move her back. I'm moving you back again. I'm getting you back. Oh, let's go here. I need to invite her. Who's watching? Come on. Oh, here we go. Let's get her back on board. Getting stuff done. Let's do Sally. Oh, there we go. Invite. Sorry about that, guys. We lost. There you go, Sally. Sorry, you froze. Oh my God, you're back again. I'm sorry about that.
I really, Instagram, it sometimes just flick. Even it goes, oh, I've had enough of you.
You were just. But you're back. Sorry, guys.
Thank you for staying with us. I can't even remember what.
No, we were talking about Waitrose and what they wanted you to do with that content, and you weren't allowed to put any royalty-free music, so you had to do the voiceover, which you did brilliantly, by the way.
And then I just thought I like watching those
Yes. Yeah.
I like watching that, so I thought, well, maybe if I like watching that, and it's ASMR. I didn't even know till a few months ago that was even a thing. But I just thought, yeah, we'll go. I know I didn't expect it to do very well, because I thought, oh, there's no music, there's no do stop motion, because that would be very boring to no music. But it did really.
It's brilliant.
It's
so good. I mean, honestly, where you get your ideas from? Do you actually make it all yourself, or do you get somebody to help you? That's what I was going to ask you.
It's all me.
Sally.
I mean, occasionally I'll get Gavin to like press the button if I'm the other side of it and I haven't got a clicker. But with the wallpaper one, I did get someone to pass me the wallpaper.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that, but
I was going to say that. Yeah.
So that was like it was literally the night before the decorator came, and I thought, oh Christ, this is where it's all falling apart. It's all smoke and mirrors. I have no organisational skills at all, and I was like,
neither do I.
I've planned the reel, but I haven't planned the beginning. The decorator's coming tomorrow, and I don't know what I'm going to do. So I was literally a boy. I've got 3 grown-up boys. Happened to be meandering through the kitchen, and I went, Toby, wait, just pass me those bits of wallpaper, and I'll do something. So he literally he was like, what? Pass me the wallpaper, like, and then I'm like, okay, we're done. So that was a little bit. It just evolved, and again, I wasn't sure if that was going to land well, because it was asking somebody to watch more than about 8 seconds, and I think that was 35 seconds, and the food one was even more. That's a big ask to hook someone in for that long, and I'm always really aware of that. And when people stick with me and watch it, I'm like, thank you.
But you're just, as I say, they all make you feel good, and I should think the brands, you're just going to go from strength to strength, because I think people relate to you, and I think that's what we want, people that are relatable in life. You know, we don't want these unrealistic things that make us just feel rubbish about ourselves. And I think that's one thing that I'm learning lately, that my feed lately is just all joyful things. And you're a big pull on my feed. You know, I haven't got many, what I would say are lifestyle influencers, because I think there's not many like you, to be honest, Sally.
Would you remember the old days of Instagram when it was photos? And I remember it literally had to be a glossy magazine, and it had to be perfect. And I feel like Instagram has evolved since then. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. You can show, you know, you can show not necessarily all the flaws, but people just want to know you're normal, because we all like to feel we're in a boat with someone.
Yeah.
And if it's too unattainable, initially you're like, wow. And after a while you're like, I just can't even, I've got nothing in common with this anymore. So that's when you tend to drift away from people, and that's okay, isn't it? People come and go.
Yeah.
You can't be all things to all people, but I've learned from being my best customer, if I'm looking at somebody all the time and feeling rubbish, or feeling not good enough, or feeling like I've got imposter syndrome, that's not a good relationship, is it? Even if they don't follow me, I'm like, actually, that's not for me. It's not making me feel good, and I just want to be joyful and see joy.
I think, do you know, that is. I think that I hook up even in the jewelry community, and I know you're a lifestyle and fashion blogger, and you're not from the jewelry community, but when I contacted you, it's credit to you, Sally, because you immediately, I just wanted to say to the followers, you immediately were up for it. And I have to say, I have contacted a few people with big accounts, and they don't even want to reply to me. And I tell you what, never get too big for your boots, mate. You know, not that you would, but you know, when people are like that.
Point 11, I'll bring it back around, don't you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you are only on the platform, you are only that, you're not famous, no matter how your account, well, okay, Kim Kardashian's famous, but you're only there. We'll let her have that one, but you're only there because people follow you. And if somebody's taken the time, I mean, it is difficult to reply to everyone and do everything, but 99% of the time I'll try really hard, and I don't even, I think it's important to not even look, just reply. You don't need to only reply to big accounts or be a chat about it. Just reply to everyone, because we're all the same. We're all like, if someone's bothered to message someone, it's really polite to message back. And what's really bad is it's seen and not replied.
Oh,
that's,
I know.
like,
I
don't do that. But don't open it at all. If you haven't got time to reply, don't even open it
just
at
wait
all, because
that's
got time.
Okay. Wait till you've got time. I completely agree. I mean, sometimes I've been busy and I've quickly just looked, made a mistake, and I've opened. Oh, I've got a whole sea come in of inboxes if I've put new things up or something. And sometimes I thought, oh, I'll reply to that. Oh, I'm just going to do this, and then I get distracted, and it's late on my mind.
Their message. You can open it on their message, and you're like, you have to do something else, and then
Yes.
you've opened it, but you haven't even looked. Did you know you can unread? Did you know you can slide across to unread? So it will still say seen at the other end, but to flag it so you keep your blue dot, just swipe across and it will say unread, and then you know you can go back later.
It like tabs it in a way.
Yeah, so it just looks like you haven't opened it yet. Although I'm sure the other person will say it's seen,
but it's a marker for me, because if it's in a list of DMs, you don't see it. And I've had that. Yeah, just like, and I remember once I had one I didn't reply to, and they messaged me a couple of days later and went, oh, I'm sure you're very busy, but you know, could you? And I said, oh my God, I'm really, really sorry. I'm never too busy. And I have to say, I completely forgot, you know.
It's mortifying, isn't it? It's just like, it feels like I'd be mortified. I just feel that was just like, it's really rude. Don't you can't. No. But sometimes you can't help it, like you say. Well, if you're on something else and you open it by accident, you're like,
we're all only human, so we, you know, and I mean, you know, we're on Instagram a lot, but you know, everybody's busy. So you've got kids, you've got a life. Things take over, don't they? And it gets crazy. Are you down in Cornwall today?
I am. I can see Fistral Beach out of my window. It's
because that's another joyful thing, that you share Cornwall and the beautiful beach, and when you go and stay at Watergate Bay Hotel, I mean, and with your gorgeous dog.
I know, little Molly, she's over here as well. Yeah, so no, we were really lucky. We found a holiday house last July. Let's quickly bore you with it.
Come on, I want to hear.
So 10 years or so ago, we had a holiday house in Perranporth. It was beautiful. Oh my God. Double fronted. No, it wasn't. It was a semi-detached. So it was one of those hall Victorian bay windows, the beautiful tiled hall, just gorgeous. And it was in Perranporth. It was lovely. And we had it as an Airbnb. And then Gav got poorly. So anyone who knows me knows that Gav was diagnosed with blood cancer. He's now in remission. Anyway, we didn't know what was going to happen. So while he was having treatment, we sold the house. And it was just one less thing to worry about. And we said, God, wouldn't it be amazing if we were ever in a position and lucky enough with health and everything to do it again? And we haven't been brave enough. It's almost like tempting fate, you know.
I know what you're saying.
All going to crash down. We do it again.
I don't think like that.
So last July, we were camping actually at Watergate Bay, and the weather looked a bit dodgy on the Wednesday. And I just happened to look online. I'm always looking at houses. We may move at any given moment, or it might be in 100 years' time. But I'm always looking on Rightmove, same as everyone else. Anyway, this house came up, and I recognised it because I remember them being built when we stayed up behind here when Jake was a baby. And I remember thinking they were flats at the time, and seeing the for sale boards go up, I'm going, oh, they've got a good view. Anyway, one came up. It was a house. And I thought, oh my God, I remember those being built. Contacted the agent because I thought, well, we need to make friends with an agent, and the weather's raining and we're camping, and I'd really like to have a look. And I said to Gav, well, by the way, when we're down in Cornwall, just to let you know, we're looking at a house. And he went, and you know what it was like last year, prices were going mad. He went, well, we're going to have a look, Sal, but we're not buying a house with a market like it is, unless it's perfect. I mean, and I was like, I've got no intention. Don't you work? No, you're safe, but let's go and have a look and we'll make friends with Jake. Only look, it's like when you see the puppy. You end up with the puppy. And we walked in and I went, oh my God, I wish we hadn't seen it. This is awful. This is awful. And anyway, the rest is history.
So do you rent that out as a holiday let as well, or is it just a pure holiday home for you?
No, we eventually completed just at Christmas. I didn't, again, because I didn't want to tempt fate, I didn't tell Instagram till April. It's literally, you know, we'd seen it for 9 months and we were in the process of I didn't dare create its own account, which it's got now. I just didn't dare because I just didn't want to tempt fate. I'm always on red alert mode with Gav, and it's never like, you know, even when someone says you're in remission, there's always appointments and stuff and weird symptoms. So it's never just like you forget it. Anyone with any diagnosis will get that. And so I just didn't, again, I didn't want to tempt fate. But come April, it was obvious we were down here quite a lot. And yeah, I just created an account for it and just see what happened. But it's basically, it's a 90s built, so built by, it's the Duchy of Cornwall, which was then Prince Charles, now King. So they're really nicely built houses. So no, not old, it's 25 years old, but it's got beautiful wooden sash windows, and you know, the bones of it looks like a Georgian terrace.
Wow.
And but everything in it is 90s. I mean, it's got like the 90s spotlights on the wiggly silver lighting thing with the blue spears either ends, and the kitchen tiles, well, they're on my, it's grid. They look like a cheese grater. So it will be a holiday.
With the Sally magic touch, I'm sure
God,
you're going to make it beautiful, Sally.
Look at this. Is this ready or what? It's not very far at the moment, but the view's great.
Sally, I've got a whole list of questions, and I knew we'd be chatter because I just got so much to ask you. One of the things I want, how did you get getting stuff done in heels? Can you tell us how you got that, your name?
Oh God. So when the kids were little, and I was always known to be in a decent wedge or a heel. I'm short, so I like to be a bit tall, and I like to be a bit taller. So I was always wearing a heel. And I dropped the kids at school and at preschool. I was in a very nice Russell and Bromley Espadrille wedge. And I thought,
I've had a few of them.
I thought, yeah, can't go wrong. And I thought, crikey, the lawn needs mowing. Before I go, I don't know why I thought that, but anyway, I did. So, and I had a very nice long swishy cardigan, and I was off shopping or something, meeting friends, I don't know. And I just very quickly ran up and down the front lawn, swishing the cardigan in my decent wedge. And the neighbour popped his head over the fence. He went, all right, they're getting stuff done in here.
I love that.
And it just stuck. And getting stuff done in a Russell and Bromley wedge didn't have the same ring, really, did it?
No, it didn't. But it just is such a good, catchy name. I mean, everybody has like funny, you know, handles, as they call them. But
I've been thinking I should change it. Do you think I should just be Sally Hurman, or would I lose? Because I was thinking it's quite a mouthful still, and it's generally now a flip flop.
Well, I think if you wanted to, you could just change it to it, because I know that you're Sally. You know, and I know that you've put up your surname now, but that reflects, getting stuff done in heels reflects your character as a person, and I sort of warm to that name. I think if I didn't know you before, I'd think, she's got a good sense of humour. You know,
and also, let's face it, we'd have to go through that blooming verification process again, so maybe I shouldn't bother.
Oh God, yeah. Which
oh look, Linda Sunsets, she's actually listening to us on the train.
On the UK on Eurostar. Hello, Linda. Lovely to see you, or not see you. Because it's funny, we're like having our own little conversation, and there's all these people like listening in, and it's funny. We should do a podcast, Sally.
I'd love that. I blooming love podcast. Me.
I am in the process. I've got a guy from America who's going to set one up for me. So if you want to come back, and we can do a podcast, and we could even interview someone. We could do you know, with your sense of humour as well. I think we could have a right laugh. You know, you just want to keep it all light and happy and joyful and relatable. But how did your career start to sort of? I know this is like, how long have you got, but to where you are now, you know, how did you migrate from the life before Instagram, put it like that?
So pre-Instagram, I was a hairdresser. I say I still am, because I still do family's hair and that, but I was a hairdresser, so my training is hairdressing, and I've always been really creative, so I'm always shuffling my house around and drawing. I'm not give me some numbers, tell me I've got to pay a bill, and I just go, I can't do it. I literally, number dyslexia. I just can't.
Me too.
I can't do it. So my history was hairdressing, and then I sort of piggybacked that with a friend, and we had a business called Fired Rocks. Actually, we made things like this. I wore it especially so I could
show us. That's so pretty.
So we used to make costume jewelry. We got it in Vogue as well once, and it's that started from going I know. That started going, we went to ceramics classes together, and oh my God, you see, this whole business, Fired Rocks, was basically born out of trying to avoid doing face painting at the school fair, right? So the teacher said, right, Sally and Rebecca, on a clipboard, we have got you down for face painting. And we went, shit, we can't do that. We went, no, it's all right. We'll sell necklaces. And then we had to come up with a plan of what we were going to sell. So luckily, we'd been to ceramics classes and we'd made these little pendant things where we'd melted glass onto bits of clay and had great time and made loads of them with holes in, thinking, what are we going to do with them? Stuck some leather thong round and a bead on the end and sold them for £10 each. And we made the school about 250 quid that day. So that was how that business was born.
So there you go. You've had a jewellery business too.
So oh yeah, to answer your question, sorry, Rabbit, how I came about doing this, well, it was really by accident, because I'm creative and I really enjoyed taking photographs. I got really bored with putting them on what I did face cloth.
Oh no, that's so funny. Yeah,
I got bored of face cloth because I thought my friends and family aren't really interested that I'm doing a challenge thing and that I could take a picture of a daisy, you know. And then someone said at some dinner party, oh, you're the Facebook queen, and I'm like, I actually am not. I don't want to do, you don't need to see my photos, but I wanted to put them somewhere. I could print them off, but I thought, anyway, we should probably do that. So I looked at Instagram and thought, I know, I'll put my pictures on here, and I carried on doing one of those hub things where you take a photo a day. So it made me do it, and it made me become more creative and see things. And I loved the fact I could use my phone, because again, I'd love to use a proper camera. Well, I'm too impatient. I just want to use the phone. If I can't do it on my phone, it won't happen. So I joined this hub thing and took pictures every day, and my profile was private and I followed all random accounts. And then one day I opened my profile up to be public, and then someone followed me. Deleted the whole thing. Not, why would you follow me? That's weird. You must be an axe murderer.
Oh my
Delete the whole
God. Yeah, you're like a bit freaked out by it. Yeah, I know.
I was like, why was anyone following me? This is really weird. I'm following you because I want to know what you've had for dinner. You don't want to see what I've had for dinner. Anyway, then I was like bereft, thinking, well, there's nowhere to put this stuff anymore. So I opened Instagram back up again, called myself getting stuff done in heels, because it was probably that day that the bloke next door, the neighbour, said about me gardening. And the rest is history. And then I remember saying to Gav, I've got 60 followers and I don't know who any of them are. And that, you know, you imagine 60 people outside your front door. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. So it is quite overwhelming, isn't it, when you think of all these people. And even, I mean, my account's really small to yours, but people come up to me.
People is a lot.
But people come up to me. People come to see me at the shop when I'm in London at Portobello. Often people act in which I really like this, by the way, is when people come up like, oh, Victoria, oh, so nice to meet you. And you can see that I feel like, oh God, I know you. You're my friend. I know you, because there's something slightly different about it, you know, which I think would be like if you and I met, who we've never met in real life, but.
Yeah, totally. Well, it was a bit like, I was walking down my high street a couple of years ago. It was before lockdown, actually. And I saw this lady coming towards me, and I knew her. A bit like when people think they know you, well, they do know you. They know your face so well on Instagram. And this lady walked in front of me, and I was like, oh my God. I went, oh, hello. And she went, hi. And I was like, oh, it's Julie Walters.
Oh my God.
And then I went, Julie Walters, I'm so sorry. Anyway, it was a few years ago, she'd just done the whatever it was, the second film that she did.
I love Julie Walters.
And I was like, oh, I said, I watched the film, it was so brilliant. What's she like in real life? And she went, she's lovely in real life. And I gave her a pair of slippers for Christmas. And I was like, thank you, Julie Walters. I love you. And that was it. So it's like that. You do, you know someone.
You do. And I always say to people, if they do give me any compliments about my account, I always just say thank you so much for following. And because you think there's so much choice, Sally, isn't there? I mean, you know, we can be unfollowed and off like that, can't we?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. And actually, unfollows aren't a bad thing. You might think, what have I done wrong? But if I'm going through and doing and unfollowing a few people, it's never like, hurrah, unfollow. It's always like, we don't have anything in common. You know, we don't have anything in common. It's never a bad thing. But when you're unfollowed, it does feel a bit, you're like, oh, did I do something wrong? And no, of course you didn't. It's just that you're that person's gone, no, I'm going to follow someone else because actually, I don't know, I'm pregnant and I'm due twins, so I'm just going to follow twin accounts.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You curate your feed to. I mean, we've got a husky dog, and I love husky videos. They're the most funny videos because they are slightly bonker dogs once you've had one. You know, I think your spaniel. When I see your dog's called Molly, isn't she? Yeah. When I see her, I think, oh, she is so good. And our dog is called Kato, and he's just a complete nutter. You know, I'd take him down the beach and I've got him on one of those spongy stretching leads, because if I let him off, he'd see a seagull, mate, and he'd just be see you later. And he has selective hearing, so yeah, it's quite frustrating, but he's the most loving dog, Sally, as well, and so I forgive him for all his naughtiness.
So you're a dog person. Have you ever had cats?
I've got 4 cats.
4 cats as well. Do they get on?
And I've got a tortoiseshell with one ear because she had a cancerous thing which I had taken off. So she looks a bit strange, but I figure it's better just not to be there. And then I've got 2 tabbies, a mother and a son, and I've got a ginger who's actually the son of the tortoiseshell. And they're funny. They don't all necessarily all get on either. They all have like a pecking order. Do you have cats? Do you?
No, we did. We had Beryl and Margot, but they both died.
That's such lovely names. Oh, and you've got 3 boys, haven't you?
I have got 3 boys, but I've got Jake, who's. Let's start with the middle one because it's his birthday today. He's 24 today. That's sad. So I've got really bad mum guilt because we're in Cornwall and he's at home, but he's out with his girlfriend in London.
He'd be fine.
You know, I'd be a spare part. So that's Sam, and then there's Jake, who is 25, coming up 26. He's actually moving out on Saturday, and again, I've got the guilt because I'm not there. But Elena, his girlfriend, I love all their girlfriends. I'm so lucky. She's he's 26 nearly. They don't.
No, it's hard though, isn't it? Toby, if they grow up,
it's hard. And Toby is 19, and he is currently. He's your baby. Placement. He's my baby. Yeah. I mean, they're all 6 foot with beards, ripped. And
are they supportive to you with your Instagram account? I bet they're really proud of you.
They're on it because Jake and Sam run their own business. It's called Rival Strength UK, and they design and import gym equipment. They've just got they do like small gyms, but they also they're doing an airport, and
they're very entrepreneurial.
They really are, because Sam's background is design. He's a designer, and Jake's he's did a marketing and sport degree. And Toby's doing his placement with them because it was really hard to get a placement somewhere else. So his was working with them. So they're all working at home, not at home. They've got unit near us, and they're great guns. So they're keeping the home fires burning. Now let's hope they're not actually burning the house.
But they do a home. They do a home gym, do they? Because I know my oldest son, he's looking at maybe buying that. So maybe I can get in touch with you about that.
Yeah, they're really good at space planning it all as well. So if you just want one kettlebell or a tiny home gym in a garage, or if you've got an airport that needs fitting out with a gym or a hotel, they can do all of it.
Well, I'll definitely get in touch with you about that, Sally. There you go.
They do the flooring as well, because you can't get your gym in without
you have to have that spongy proper flooring, don't you? Like that they sweat on. Don't want to think about that. But one of the other questions there's so much I don't think we're going to get through everything because there's just so much I want to chat to you about. But another time for our podcast, maybe, is when did you sort of, because this is obviously your full-time career now, isn't it?
Yeah, who knew?
I know.
Wasn't ever.
And how long do you think it took you to sort of establish that, Sally, that it was just because you've got an agent now?
I've got an agent now. Yeah, again, this all happened by accident. So it all happened with wanting to come off face cloth, taking nice photos, shuffling my room around at home, because you take photos of what's around you. So I'll be like, oh, that shelf looks nice, take a photo. And this was 10 years ago. So this influencing, or whatever you want to call it, was never a thing. It's no more influencing than me going, oh, I really like your earrings, and you going, yeah, I got them here, and then I buy them. It was, you know, it's as small as that, isn't it? But the fact that I'm now broadcasting to more people, I guess it's a thing. And it was completely by accident. It was never the plan, because I didn't know that that was a thing. In fact, it wasn't a thing 10 years ago. You just went, you know, I just fell into it. So I think the first time I was contacted by a brand was it was a watch brand, and they said, if you want to pick one of these watches and photograph it and put it on your grid, we'll give you 75 quid. And I was like, all right, I like that watch. You're paying me 75 quid to do it? Good. That's lovely. Thanks very much. And then it started happening more and more. And I'm like, so I'm still working in a salon and doing a bit of Fired Rocks and you know, the kids and everything. And then it would grow, and you'd get like a brief and a contract. And I'd be like, well, this is going to take some time. So there's a tipping point where you go, I can't do this for 75 quid anymore. It's stopping me doing other things. And actually, even doing them for free now, I'll send you a candle, that sort of thing. It was those days. And I just thought, I can't be creating stuff, because, you know, the customer will get the very nice discount on the candle or whatever it was they were sending me for free, or the cushion or the watch for 75. And then the brands would be getting the sales, and I would be steaming coming out of my ears with the kids so hungry they're beating their own arms off. Yeah. Because I'm trying to take photos.
Because this is taking up too much time. Yeah.
That's the tipping point where you go, actually, this is a charge. My time is, you've got to charge for your time. Don't undervalue yourself. So I sort of poddled along for a while, just sort of thinking, well, I'm feeling guilty about charging as well. I think like, how can I charge for this? I'm not qualified in any way to do this. But then when you think about someone said to me, actually, I had about 48,000 followers at this point. And someone said to me, if you think about a magazine run, now I might be wrong, so if anyone's following me, following our thing that actually has figures, apologies. But she said, a magazine won't print more than 50,000 copies, this particular magazine. She said, and there's no way if they stick an advert in there and stick it on the shelves of Tesco, wherever, they can't track how well that advert has done, whereas they can with us.
Because of the analytics,
and you wouldn't be going to the editor of Country Living. I'll just pop you a little free rug over if you can give me a full page spread, and you photograph it and you write the copy and all of that, and then print it in your magazine, but I'll give you the rug for free. So you know, there come that again, that's all had to be learned, because this wasn't a job, was it? It was just not a thing. Anyway, fast forward a few years now, it's been about 2 years now I've had an agent, and that has transformed how I work, because like I said to you earlier, I hate numbers and I can't market myself. I got to the point where I was going to be my own PA and go, Sally this and Sally, you know, not be me. This is what Sally's fee is, and this is her time frame, and she's very busy and important, you know. And that was where I was going to be, pretending to be my own assistant.
That's like a complete meltdown situation, isn't it?
I couldn't bear to do it. I just couldn't bear it. So then that's when the agent got involved, and that's Laura Ronnie Management. Brilliant. I love them, and I feel totally supported.
And how did you get her, Sally? Did she contact you, or did you ask in the bloggers community? How did you find?
No, it was through a friend, because I could see that she was being managed, if you like. But the brilliant thing is, they don't really manage you. You have to lift yourself up, and they scoop you up and go, right, we've got all these contacts. You keep doing what you're doing. We're not going to chase you, and we're not going to like make you do homework. You have to keep doing it. But we can help you with the other side of it that you hate, which I hated anyway, which was putting myself out there, reading contracts.
I can't do it. So you get that, I get that, like where my brain just will not compute things, you know?
Comes down like a shutter. Gav gets really frustrated with me, because I go, I can't read it. No, I don't know. No idea. So they've taken all that over. which is brilliant because they really enjoy that. The girls that work there and that look after me, they enjoy that because they're not, you know, they're doing it for me. I could do it for somebody else, but I couldn't do it for myself.
And the brands that you work with, I mean, I think that they really suit you. The brand like Laura Ashley, I think you're a great influencer for a brand like that, and Waitrose and DFS. I thought that was hilarious. You know, the one you did for them.
The King.
Are they really nice to work with?
Yeah,
I mean,
really
I suppose
nice.
you can't really say no, they're not nice.
No, I wouldn't be working with them because first of all, it has to be a good fit. If I suddenly did something with a brand, it's nice to try new things, but if I suddenly did something with, I don't know, McLaren, a motorbike brand, something random that I've never spoken about or said I enjoy or would see in my house, you'd be like, well, they must be paying you a lot of money for that, and therefore I already don't believe you. So it has to be where I shop, what I buy, what I like in my house, what I like to wear. And I do feel well, in any relationship, trust is vital, isn't it? But I feel like I'm in a place where I've earned a lot of trust, and if I was to break that, that takes a lot to earn back. So I would only work with brands that I feel that work. Do you know what I mean? That fit me and that I would naturally shop at, and I feel like I've got a really nice relationship with them because I can go, oh, I've got this brilliant idea, or oh, can we just change that?
I can see you working with, here you go, I'm shouting out names. I could see you doing Bowden. I love Bowden.
Oh, God,
I love Bowden too. Can they ask both of us?
I'll get my people on it. We'll be there.
But I love Bowden clothes, and actually whenever they send you anything, occasionally I'll buy things in the sale. It's beautifully packaged, isn't it? And they've got their funny little quotes. They're quite Johnny Bowden, you know.
Everything, yeah, I love it. And what I love though is that not for people contacting, which I enjoy, but I like the fact that everyone's accessible, and I can say to you, I can message you, where'd you get your glasses? Can you pop me a link over? Because you are my Google, because I follow you, I like you, I trust that you've chosen the nice whatever it is. And people do that with me. Like I showed some vests the other day in M&S, they're only £8. I'm like, oh my God, you need to, it's
you want to share the love,
my
Sally, don't you? And I do that too.
See these vests, brilliant. And like 1,000 people linked through. I wish I'd been on a commission. That would be remiss of me, but anyway.
But you know, I know you can't divulge how much you get paid or anything, but do you feel that it's given you a really successful sort of lifestyle now from doing this? I mean, I know you work hard, I know that. Yeah,
I mean, everybody knows that hairdressing isn't particularly
that's slog work, isn't it? It really is hard slave labour.
And you do that, and I did it all those years for an absolute creative love of the job and of the people, because I love people.
You're a chatty person anyway, aren't you? So it's very sociable.
Yeah, it's just a social, exactly. So I sort of transferred that into other things, and I think now, because there's a bigger platform, so there's a bigger worth, I suppose, to a brand wanting me. If I only had 5 followers, I could be brilliant, but they wouldn't want to work with me because there's no worth in who I can share it to.
Yes, of course.
I might as well open the front door and shout. So I feel really responsible about when I'm doing an ad. I don't want to let the brand down, and I definitely don't want to let the people watching it down. So I get the fear before I post a big campaign. I'm literally going, I can't press post.
No, I relate to that, Sally. Completely relate to that. Because it. I guess that's because you're so responsible, and you really want to do your best job, don't you? You want it to be a success, and you don't. I mean, I don't ever want to offend anyone or upset anyone. I think I'm a people pleaser, and I guess you are too.
So we're people pleasers. And I am definitely one of them. I always say I've got splinters in my arse because I sit on the fence.
Yeah, I do that. We're so similar. I do that too. I think
because there's no point in riling anyone because they've got an opinion. So there's no point in throwing your opinion in there. Just carry on putting out what you put out, and don't get involved in the knee-deep stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what. And even my chats now, the lives I've done, with you. and with other people that I've spoken to. I think I just want everybody to just share a little bit more depth about themselves that maybe that they don't from their Instagram account, you know, on the surface. But just because I think also, Sally, don't you? We're all a bit nosy.
Oh my God,
aren't
yeah.
we?
I'm
nosy.
I'm the first one who likes to go for a walk at just when it's starting to get dark and no one's pulled their curtains, because I want to have a look where they've got their sofa and what they've got on the wall. I'm so nosy, like proper.
I think it's a real English thing, actually.
Yeah, it is. I'd form a queue as well to nose. And that's why Instagram's so lovely, because you can nose at different jobs. You can nose at what someone's had for dinner, but you can also nose at their life. And I find myself quite involved, like, oh, I need to see how so-and-so got on at the doctor's, or if she's had her baby yet, or if she's chosen her paint for a wall. Of course, it's bedlam. It's bedlam.
But one of the things I was going to say to you, that Waitrose ad that you did, that salad, I want to make that. That looked absolutely delicious. So that advert you did, I thought was brilliant. It'd be brilliant for Waitrose, because you actually really wanted to eat that salad. I thought it looked really good. So honestly, how long did that take you to make that, Sally? The ad?
Well, people. My family kept coming in the kitchen. I'd say,
God, my children do that when I'm doing stuff. It's so annoying.
I know. I want an on-air silence, silent, because especially as I used my own sound effects, I didn't find them. They are the proper sound. They're the sounds that I made when I was cooking.
Really?
So if someone's coming in and going, put the kettle on, I don't want the kettle boiling. I'm trying to make a chopping noise. No, that one actually took longer to think up of how to do it. And if you watch it, I wiped the beans off the breadboard, and then I had to think they've got to go in the same direction into the pan. So there was like, oh God, it took longer than it should have done. But it wasn't, once I got going, it was in real time of me cooking the thing, because I only had 2 packs of beans, which is stupid, because normally I buy double of everything. So I've got stunt food in case something goes wrong with the actual backup. Yeah, I didn't have backup. But that reel, I think it was liked 1,000 something times, but it was saved more than it was liked.
Because people wanted to make the recipe. Yeah, so
and I think brands, likes are our own pride, but the brands are interested in the reach, the engagement, all the other metrics, and saves particularly, because then they know it's gone down really well. You know, likes are they're my own pride, really. They're not really interested in how many likes it gets. It's how many people have seen it, saved it, shared it.
Yeah,
commented.
I think it is the saves. But no, honestly, you must keep doing more of those brands where you make the recipes, because I think they're really, you know, that's a lovely meal, you know, especially in the summer, a lovely healthy salad that someone can have with their family on a summer. I mean, we're having this heat wave, long may it last, because I love the hot weather. And you can make a lovely meal like that for your family. And I think that's, at the end of the day, all of us, we all live busy lives, but if we can all sit around a meal table together, that's so important. Don't you think that?
Oh, absolutely. And I think if you can be scrolling on Instagram and see what you're going to cook for tea, it's a double win, isn't it? You can be nosy what everyone's having for tea, but also inspired about what you're going to have as well. And that's the same all through Instagram. And show me your hand. I want to see your blue aquamarine. Oh my God, that's literally my dream ring. That's you. Just
Well, you know, I'm going to speak to your agent, Mrs., because I want to get you to come down and do one of your clever reels here.
Pop up in your. What I'd have is a swag bag, and that would all be part of my game plan.
Just to see what, because you've done interiors, Laura Ashley, you've done Waitrose, and I know you've done for Fellows with the handbags at the auction, but whatever you did for me, we'd have to make it a little bit funny and tongue-in-cheek.
Burgle it. I have to make sure you're very well insured, is all I'm going to say, because, you know, can't be trusted.
But because I must say, when even some of the young girls that have worked for me here, we've done a few TikTok dances, and you know, we've done some sort of funny little scenes and things. Although I haven't done anything like that recently for a while, because I haven't had anyone to sort of do it with. But I'm always up for things like that, because you've got to laugh at yourself, haven't you? You know, like you said. Oh,
absolutely, absolutely. Are you on TikTok?
Yeah,
I need to follow
you.
We
are on TikTok. Follow us on TikTok. I mean, I must say, Sally, I have to be honest, everyone. I don't do the TikTok. Emma, who works for me, who's 18, on a Saturday, I'll say to her, can we do this? Can we do that? And she does the TikTok. But I have to say, I would have a complete meltdown if I did TikTok. I basically run most of the Instagram. I've got 2 photographers that work for me that do help me a little bit, and we might create some content for a reel, and then I'll put it together. But basically, if I did TikTok as well, I think I would go insane.
It's time
couldn't
cope.
Isn't it? I really couldn't. It's too much. It's too much. But
I throw TikTok things that I think probably if I was only doing TikTok, I'd change them. But I haven't got time, so I chuck it things from Instagram and just leave them there. And I just think, oh, maybe one day it'll go viral. I'd love it to go viral on TikTok, because to me that's sort of, so this is what I think. TikTok is like a quick snog, but Instagram is a meaningful relationship. Yeah. So I just throw things at TikTok and hope for the best. But Instagram, that needs more. That needs what you and me have chosen. That's the platform to put your nurture into.
And well, also because you've got to a certain stage. I mean, it's taken such hard work, isn't it, to get, I mean, we're a long way behind you, but you know, it's my baby. That's how I feel about this account, you know. And
yeah,
I say it's my baby. It genuinely matters to me, you know, about my followers and the people that are following, and my followers, say I mean because it's the team that work with me as well. But I think it really matters to me. And you know, I tell you what, Sally, I've made a lot of friends from it, people that have come to the shop from America, and they are people I know I've got in common with. I mean, I think I've got a lot in common with you as well. That's why I'm drawn to you. And it's funny.
You gravitate, don't you? And like Instagram to me is like a massive long garden fence, and we're all neighbours and we're all chatting over it, where geography and time don't exist. Because you know,
that's a good analogy.
Like what you were saying about the people from America that follow you, that will be joining now and having breakfast or whatever, they're on the garden fence with us. We're all chatting over the garden fence, and I love that. I love that about it, that you can actually resonate and find really good relationships with people that geography and other things would never have allowed normally, because you just wouldn't meet it in real life.
And it's just brought us.
Yeah, and your tribe. JP has got it exactly right.
That is, sorry, followers, I'm not even actually, sometimes, find your own tribe. And I think that's absolutely true. And Sally is like in my tribe, absolutely. But I have to say, there are a couple of other, and I don't want to say the names because I don't like to be negative about anybody. But there are a couple of bloggers that I followed, and I have bought things that I've seen through, you know, their paid advertising, but they've started to irritate me.
Oh God!
I could never see you ever irritating anyone, Sally. I'm not, you know.
When Gav watches my stories, I'm going to turn that woman off. She's so annoying. Turn her off. Turn her down. Unfollow her. He goes, unfortunately, I'm married to her.
But Gav, can I just, before we finish off, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, your lovely Gav and his story, because you've done so much for the DKMS, the leukemia blood cancer charity, haven't you? And can you just, because I don't know whether half the followers are your followers or my followers there, but the couple of things that you've done, and I've sponsored you because I hats off to you, mate. It's just bloody amazing, the couple of things you've done. What have you done? You've done wing walking?
Did a wing walk, bungee jump. I scaled down the spinnaker. What's that called? Whatever that's called.
Well, I thought, you did that, and I couldn't think what it was called, and I was hoping you'd know because you did it.
Somebody will come up with what that's called. What else have I done?
You did a bungee jump. Didn't you? Something to do with the O2. Was that?
No, that wasn't. No, I did. It was a spinnaker, but I did do a parachute jump as well. Jumped out of the plane over New York.
That was a couple of years ago. I know. I watched you because I think Gav filmed you live, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, they were it.
And I just thought. I mean, would you just do them again? Was that? Did you not feel? I mean, obviously you felt scared, but
here's the thing I always say. Actually, the 10K run was the worst one. Nearly coughed up a lung. Not going to be too dramatic about it. Nearly. Anyway, that was and all the others that were more scary. And this is like what I always said, and like they wanted like a press release thing, and they said, were you scared? And I will say to anyone, and anyone who has been in this situation will totally get it, there is nothing more scary than walking into a doctor's room to be told you've got cancer, or for scan results that weren't good, or even for scan results that were good before you walk in. That's really scary. And so all the things that I've done, all the stupid things, abseiling, thank you, all the stupid things I've done, I knew there was a very high chance I wasn't going to die. It was going to actually be fun, and afterwards I'd go, yeah, that was amazing.
Live to tell the story.
Exactly. And when you have got cancer, or you going in because there's been a scare, to see that doctor, that there's no fear like that. So all the stupid things I've done, hurling myself out of things, down things, up things, that was fun, scary. That was a good sense of fun. That I probably wasn't going to die.
Oh, Sally, I mean, I really in awe. And how much have you raised so far for Gav's charity?
Oh, I was looking at that the other day, actually, because the wing walk, we had a separate one. So the 5 of us, I think it was 5 of us or 4 of us, we raised about 11 grand for that. And I think my other one's on about 28 grand or something. So it did, they've done really, really well. And I was always, again, I was just so grateful people actually donated while I was doing the things. And I do think the more fearful I was, the bungee jump, I was scared, because that was only if I landed.
That was the one I watched that and I was like, I just could not do that. I don't know if I do it maybe over a lake. You could still
soft landing. Yeah, soft landing. You might only just crack a bit of your skull. But the more scared I am, the more money it raised. So DKMS were always like, right, how can we try and kill it?
Have you got any plans to do anything else?
Oh, I'd love to do it. I would do another bungee jump tomorrow. No, it's been a bit quiet. I think since lockdown it has gone a little bit quiet, but so I need to get back on it really and do some more stuff. I mean, it stresses Gav out. Stress is not good for him.
No, I was going to say he needs to just be calm and
he's not that. There's a photograph. There was a professional photographer in the car park at that was at the O2, the bungee jump. You're right. Sorry, and Gav is literally going, and he caught all the boys going like that as I was jumping off, and I thought, I can't put him through that again.
My God, Sally! But honestly, it's you're amazing doing that. I mean, I completely understand what you're explaining about being diagnosed and waiting in a doctor's surgery, and there's nothing more scary than that. So I suppose you feel like this is the least that you can do.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and if that makes a difference to someone's life, then hey, you know, and I just think cancer touches everyone, doesn't it? And there's no escaping it. Yeah. So you know, it's one of those things that you've got to. I know it's a bit cliche, but and I've always sort of said this, but I never, if I get an opportunity, I never want to say no to it. I mean, obviously nothing illegal, but you know,
well, it depends on what the illegal thing is, and if we're likely to get found out whilst we're making a dash for it.
But but just to make the most of every day and just be the best person that you can be, and always be polite. That's what I always say to my sons: be polite and well mannered, and you know, I just think that is one of the most important things, and just always, you know, be considerate to other people. You know, but
isn't it back to point 11 of my 10-point plan?
I love that. Don't be a knob. Don't be a knob. I'm going to round it up now, because I've just loved chatting to you. I don't even know what we talked about. So probably not even what was on my list, but I knew that would happen, because I said on my stories, didn't I? Said we'll have a good old natter. So join us if you want to have a good old natter. But just a couple of things just to round it down, Sally, because because I'm nosy, as I just said, more than anything. What are your 3 all-time favourite movies?
Well, when you emailed, I was like, oh God, I'm glad you've asked me that, because I wouldn't be able to think of it.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back in time, and we're going to go first of all, and this would be my absolute dream, to be Henry Higgins, because I know all the words to all the songs, My Fair Lady. And I know that's not really a film, it's more a musical, but all the words, literally all the words to all the songs. That's one of my things I can do. It's a party piece. Don't ever do it, because I'll never stop. And then we're going to come forward a bit, Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing.
Oh God, I love that film.
I can't believe he's dead. He's like,
wasn't that a terrible day? I was so sad. It resonated with me in my teenage years. I remember going to the cinema and seeing that film. Yeah.
Oh, just the best. Oh, it's just brilliant. And then, and I had to write this down because I would never remember the name of it, but I know the music. Interstellar.
Interstellar. No, I do know that film.
Yes. Stuck behind a bookcase. Oh my God, it's so good. And every time you watch it, there's something else that you see that you missed in the last one. And I'm just glued to it each time, because also I have got the memory of a goldfish. So I'm like, oh, this is good. And Mum, this is the 5th time you've seen it. Oh, I don't remember this bit. Oh, what's happening now?
Well, do you know, lots of things you've said so similar to me. How I hate numbers, absolute useless with bookwork, and a memory of a bloody goldfish. It's funny how certain things I remember and I think, how's that stuck in my head?
I know. Most uselessest bit of information that you could possibly recall.
Yeah,
you can't help it. And the important stuff, no idea.
What sign are you, Sally? I didn't preempt you on that, but I just wondered what you were.
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, you're a Scorpio. So is Scorpio? It's not September, is it? You're November. Yeah. So my birthday's in a couple of weeks' time. I'm end of June. I'm Cancer.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm a
you?
Cancerian.
Probably opposite something, which means we get on really well or something like
that.
I
don't know, because I'm trying to think what a lot of my friends are. I think I have got a couple of friends that are Scorpions. A few of my friends are Cancerians, the same as me, funnily enough. But I don't know if there's any truth in any of that with the star signs and how we all gravitate, and whether, you know, I think Cancerians often are quite creative people. So I don't know if that's true about Scorpios. What are you, left or right-handed?
Right.
Oh, you're
handed.
Right. See, now I did think there was a thing, because I'm left-handed. Most creative people are left-handed, but I've asked a few people on lives and it's pretty even. So yeah, but there's not much in that. And what was the last book you read? Are you a bookworm? I bet you don't get time, do you?
I love reading books, and when I read books, I go completely deaf, and I'll literally like go rah, and I've done it in a day. And Gav's still like on page 2. So this is what I've got for my holiday book.
Oh, I've read that. It's a brilliant book.
Is it? Because I'm literally.
I read it in a day.
I'm only there.
So good.
They just won the lottery, but that's all I know.
It's such a good book. It twists and turns. Anybody that's reading, listening on our podcast,
just
get Adele Parks, and any book by Adele Parks. You could. Yeah, her mind. She's got the most twisted mind, but I love it. It's brilliant. Yeah, I can't believe that. There's a book, another Adele Parks book, which I've just got. I can't remember the name of it, but I've got it to read when I go away. So I'll let you know, Sally.
She's written so many books. I don't know how she does it. Brilliant.
Absolutely. I love her twisted mind. But yeah, the lottery winner, that is, you couldn't make that up. The storyline of that. I can't actually remember what happens, so I can't blow the cover of it. But it's quite.
See, we've got the Dory mind.
Yeah.
It's all brand new every time.
But I remember I couldn't put it down, and it's one of those stories that, again, her mind, how she thought up that story, I don't know, but you'll love it. I think the end, I was like, oh, I didn't want that to happen, but no.
Don't tell me anymore. They all done.
I'll shut up. I'll shut up now. Anyway, do you know, Sally, honestly, I've had, every time I do a live, I always say this, I feel like it's chatting to one of my best friends, you know, like I love chatting to you. And what are you doing this evening then? You're taking the dog down the beach?
No, we're actually going to Watergate Bay for dinner. It's Lobster Friday. And weirdly, I had booked it, and then they got in touch and said, because I've got a really good relationship with them, they said, would you like to come? And I'll do a few stories. I love you. Every time I do anything, they go, can you pop on the marketing team for us in return for? And I'm like, well, weirdly, we booked. And they went, well, in that case, Lobster Friday, come down. And I was going to share it anyway. So it's just really nice. But because it's our wedding anniversary, they said,
oh, Sally,
we won't charge.
That's so nice.
It's actually tomorrow our wedding anniversary, but Lobster Friday, it sort of is a Friday.
Oh, well, happy anniversary to you and Gavin for tomorrow. Are you going to do anything special? I suppose it's just nice being there, isn't it?
It's just, yeah, it's just nice being here. And like I told Gavin, I said, we've got Lobster Friday. We haven't even thought about Saturday, what that could bring.
Oh. Well, you're just living your best life, and so you deserve to. And honestly, thank you so much for coming and chatting to me, Sally, and taking your time. And I'm going to get in touch with your agent, because I know that we need to meet. We need to do something, because I think I need a bit of Sally magic. And I think you could make some here, because this is so quirky, this shop. Honestly, funny things happen here. So, yeah, because I don't know how far you are. You're sort of Surrey way, aren't you? Yeah, so you're not that far from us, Sussex. It'd take you an hour and a half or something to come here.
Yeah, brilliant.
So I've got to get you in the shop.
Yeah, and I've just got my eye on that ring, so you know.
Oh, love you, Sally.
I might just borrow it for a year or two.
I'd always lend you one. If you're going to an event for something, just contact me and I will always lend you any jewellery.
Imagine, I'll rock up, I'm going to a Daniel event in London next week. I'll rock up dripping in diamonds.
Honestly, I mean that. I would always lend you anything. So, you know, get in touch and I'll do that back to you. Listen, have a fantastic evening and enjoy your lobster. And I'm going to let you go and I'll message you later. But
thank you so much. I just want to say to everyone, thanks for sticking us on the side and having a cup of tea.
Yeah, no, I hope they've had a laugh at us. I hope it's been interesting. I know I've loved chatting to you, and I could go on for more, but I'm supposed to be giving someone a lift home who's standing in the office of the shop thinking, hurry up, I want to go. So,
standing at his coat on going, oh, come on.
Anyway, lots of love, Sally.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Right, I've said goodbye to Sally now. Oh, she is such a gorgeous lady, isn't she? I've really enjoyed chatting to her. I hope you've all really enjoyed our live this afternoon. I know, you know, chatting to her about Gav's the blood cancer charity was really interesting. And anyway, if you're not following her account, that you definitely should be, because I just love Sally to death. She really, as I said, it really is joyful. Any of her videos that she does, it always makes me smile. And after all, that's the most important thing about Instagram. If it doesn't make you smile, bring you joy and make you feel happy. Anyway, on that note, I am going to go now, but I will be back next Friday with another guest, and I'll probably do it at 5 then, because I think it's better to do it a bit later. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Hello, Sylvia. I think that's my friend Sylvia. I cannot believe she's watching me. I didn't even know she was on Instagram. Anyway, I'm going to go now, and take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend. Bye.